Okay, so you already know this is a tough time to be a buyer. You know there's far more buyers than sellers out there. There's just not a lot of great homes available on the market. So I wanted to share with you a few stats, but more importantly than that, I wanted to share with you some specific properties that I've recently put on the market, what the offers looked like as they came in, and what the process was for the seller to review a handful of offers and decide which one they wanted to go with. That way you'll have a better idea of what you need to do to submit the strongest offer possible to win the house without dramatically overpaying or giving up your appraisal or some of those other crazy things that are happening right now. Hey guys, Donovan here. If you're new to the channel, we talk about all things Gainesville. We talk about the best restaurants, the best schools, all the best places to live. And if that's the kind of information you're looking for, make sure you start by clicking the subscribe button. Also, click the little bell so you get notified anytime I put out a new video. So when it comes to the real estate market right now in Gainesville, things are still pretty hot, lots of buyers, very few sellers, and it's basically the new normal. So every month we get new data. Unfortunately, that data is about a month behind as they roll it all up, but I did see a couple of key indicators that were giving me some hope as to where our market is going to be headed. The best thing that I saw in last month's data was the new inventory. Overall, the new properties coming to the market were up over 31% year over year. So compared to this time last year, we've seen a dramatic increase. Of course, that's because of the sickness, the illness, everything was pretty crazy April of last year. So overall, we would expect those numbers to go up. But month over month, hopefully they will continue to increase and give buyers just a few more options to choose from. So even though our month over month new inventory numbers are up, the overall supply inventory is still extremely low. We're just over a month of inventory, so if no new homes came on the market, we would be completely sold out in about a month. A balanced market where everything's sort of equal, there's not more sellers than buyers, it's all equal, is about 5.5 months of inventory. So that gives you an idea of how low we really are. If you're not from the area or you're new to Gainesville or your market's a little bit different, I thought this one would be interesting for you, and that's the median time to contract. Homes in our area are going under contract within about 6 days, and within specific price points even less than that. So if you see something you like and you're ready to buy, you need to get that offer in really within about 2 days to be in the conversation, have a seat at the table, and have a chance to win that house. So knowing those market stats can be helpful and give you an idea of what's going on with the market. But even more importantly, I wanted to give you a couple of specific case studies of properties that were listed on the market. They got multiple offers and share with you exactly what those offers look like and why the winning offers won. So the first property was a beautiful home in Gainesville listed at $300,000. It was a little over 1,800 square feet with 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and an office. It had been updated, new floors, everything was updated and in great shape. The only issue with the house was the roof and AC. Again, a little bit older. Those things may need to be replaced in the coming years, but otherwise a beautiful home in a great location. We ended up with 6 offers on this house within 4 days. And rather than go through all of those offers, I'll just highlight the best ones. So the first one we'll talk about that got ruled out was extremely competitive, very, very strong. They were offering $310,000 with an escalation up to $320,000 in $1,100 increments. So if someone was going to offer, say, 318, this buyer was going to go up to 319 and $100 to beat that offer. It was also, they were putting $3,000 into escrow, a 14-day inspection period. It was an FHA offer with 3.5% down, but this specific buyer stated that they were willing to come out of pocket $5,000, up to $5,000 if the appraisal came in low. So even though it was FHA, this person had some available funds and they let us know, and that's what really kept them in the running. But we, again, just had a couple of other offers that came in a little bit higher. The next one was very interesting. So this was the second best one, but the seller did not go with it. They were offering $300,000, but they had an escalation where they stated they would beat any other offer by $1,000, and they didn't set a cap on it. So no matter what the other offer was, they were telling us they're going to go $1,000 above it. In addition to that is conventional loan, 25% down, 15-day inspection period. It was a financed offer, so it was not cash, and they didn't say anything about the appraisal. So they could have gotten bid up to say $340,000, and if that appraisal comes in low, we don't know what's going to happen. Are they going to try to renegotiate? Are they going to walk away? What's going to happen with that offer? Us not knowing is what caused the seller to go with the next offer. This final offer that they ended up going with was at a purchase price of $325,000. The other thing that really made them stand out was their escrow deposit. They were putting $20,000 into escrow. Our market, about 1% of the purchase price is common. Going above that is showing you're more aggressive. These people were putting $20,000 into escrow. In addition to that, they shortened the inspection period to 7 days. In our market, 15 days is common. Shortening that is aggressive. It's hard to get a good inspector out in less than 2 weeks, but it's possible. But these people were doing a 7-day inspection period, $20,000 in escrow, $320,000 purchase price. They also stated that it was a finance deal, but if the appraisal came in low, they had the excess funds available to cover a low appraisal between the purchase price and the list price. So if the appraisal came in at the list price of $300,000, they just come out of pocket $25,000 in addition to the down payment, closing costs, and all of that. So that one, it wasn't cash, but it was as close to cash as could be because they had the funds available. They were extremely aggressive on the escrow deposit and the inspection period. And those are a few little tactics you can do. So even though the seller could have gotten $1,000 more with that other offer, seeing how serious, how motivated this person was from the get-go is what really separated them from all the other offers. So this next property was in a very similar situation, located in Gainesville. It was listed on the market for $275,000, a little over 1,600 square feet. It did have a pool, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. The inside was completely updated, just a beautiful home. The only downside or challenges with this specific property, again, was the AC and the roof were older. Those will likely need to be replaced in roughly 3 to 5 years. So those were something that a buyer would want to take into consideration. We put this property on the market late Thursday, started showings on Friday and Saturday, had 8 offers in by Sunday that the seller was reviewing. I don't want to drag you through all of those offers. We'll focus on the top 3, but the other 5 ended up coming in below $290,000. So again, it was listed at $270,000. But this one just got bid up very high, very fast. So the third offer that the seller ended up ruling out was a purchase price of $290,000. They had an escrow deposit of $1,000 with an additional $4,000 deposit after the inspection period. Other than that, they were offering a 2-week post-occupancy. It was also a financed offer, and they had an appraisal that would be required for the financing. They weren't telling us that they were going to cover any gap or negotiate on appraisal or anything. So the biggest reasons the seller ruled this one out was the escrow deposit. They didn't love that they were going to do 2 separate deposits. The seller was concerned that they were holding something back because they thought they would find something during the inspection period, and that they weren't completely sold on the house. The other item, again, was just knowing that if an appraisal comes in low, the buyer could try to renegotiate or just walk away. So those things are why the seller ended up ruling that one out. The next 2 offers were extremely competitive and kind of unique in their own ways. One offer was for a purchase price of $301,000, and they are also including an escalation clause up to $321,000. So up to $321,000, they were going to beat out any other offer by at least $1,100 to try to win the bid. In addition to that, they were doing a 10-day inspection period, and they were also telling us up front that they were willing to cover a low appraisal up to $20,000. So if they were offering $301,000 and their appraisal came in at $280,000, they were going to cover up to $300,000 out of pocket without trying to renegotiate. So that made the offer extremely attractive to the seller. The challenge with that escalation clause is the next best offer, we didn't have anything over $301,000, so the escalation wouldn't come into play. So they're basically capped out. Their offer was $301,000. What ended up winning, of course, no surprise, was a cash offer. This cash offer came in at $300,000. They had a $3,000 escrow deposit, and they were also offering a very flexible post-occupancy agreement. So there's a lot of flexibility, and what the seller really needed was speed in this situation. They wanted to close as quick as possible, get the money from the sale so they could buy their next home. And with a cash deal, it just takes out a lot of the hurdles and makes the process very simple. And the seller really appreciated that, and that's why the cash offer ended up winning, even though they could have probably gotten a little bit more money out of the other offer. They just wanted to move as quick as possible. So the market here in Gainesville is still extremely competitive, and I don't expect that to change in the near future. Even though we're starting to see more homes come on the market, there is still just so much demand, and our supply has been so low for so long, it's going to take a while to get that to balance back out. But to learn even more about living in Gainesville, what you'll want to do next is go ahead and watch this video where I share with you all the important facts that you need to know about moving to Gainesville, Florida.